Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I'm here planning for the week of March 2nd through the 8th. This is in my B&R Paper Crafts Plan B planner. And for this week, I'm also using a kit from B&R Paper Crafts. This one's called Wendy, obviously Peter Pan inspired, but has photos for the full boxes. So this is a deluxe kit on matte vinyl. This is the full box page, the bottom washi and date covers, glittery boxes, non-glittery boxes, some functional things, icons and 4 more full boxes, some washi strips, little things, boxes, things like that, glitter headers, 4 more full boxes. So lots going on in this kit for sure. I think I'm going to try to pull in like the fantastical elements as much as possible. I think that's going to be the vibe that I'm going to go for, and leave some of the less fantastical elements for when I potentially use this kit again in the future. But for today, I do have washi strips. I think I'm going to skip this middle blue maybe. I do have bottom washi and date covers and date dots, I think. I think that's all I'm going to need for this pre-planning. Do I want to put the weekend banner down this time? We'll think about that. So in the meantime, I'm just going to put down this stuff, and then I will be back so that we can do the interesting bits. Okay, here's where we are at so far. I think it's looking pretty good. So moving into the full boxes, we have these 4, we have these 4, and somewhere these 9. So I think for sure I'm skipping this one because that matches the bottom washi, so that doesn't make sense. I definitely want the 2 ships. I want the mermaid. I want maybe this one. That definitely has like fairy tale-esque vibes. So that's 4. Maybe we'll do these 2. So that's 6. Excuse me. And then I need 2 more. What do I think I want to use? What if I use the dog and the thimble? Because I feel like those are also like pretty Peter Pan-esque. Okay, so for this, I think I want to use this one as my quote box. It definitely has like the most fairy tale vibes of everything. I can get that lined up. So then that puts this one in the middle. You might have noticed I scattered my headers, which I have not done in quite a while, but I thought that it would be fun and more whimsical to also scatter these guys. I think I want the dog and the thimble on Monday and Sunday because I feel like these are the least whimsical. And so I feel like they should go on the outside edges to kind of denote the being home parts. All right, there's that. Apparently one of those headers at least is not straight. Let me see if I can at least get this one maybe a little better. All right, let's go with that. And then maybe we'll do these 2. If I can find the corner that peels up the best. Putting in the top glitter headers is always like a bit of a challenge. All right, that's reasonably straight. So I think we'll just leave it, and I'm not going to try to fix the, I should probably try to fix at least this burgundy header a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then the last 2 that I had. I think we're gonna go with the mirror in this one. I think those were the last two. As being very like fairy tale-esque. So there's that one. And then I'm gonna stick this one up here. And again, I gotta just do like a tiny bit of a fix. There we go. All right, that looks overall pretty good, I think. And I'm excited to use all of these. Let's see, moving on to the sidebar. I'm gonna start with the this week. As per usual, I think I'm gonna press everything up together this week, just because that again is something I haven't really done a lot of recently. One of these pages has habit trackers on it. There we go. I think one habit tracker will be sufficient for my purposes. So I'm going to stick one of those down. And then there's an icons sheet. I'm just going to pull the little Instagram icon since I use this for socials. So that's going to go there. And then I'm going to put in the meals header. There we go. And then I only have this kind of checklist, but there are 7. So I think that that's going to work out fine. I think I'm going to use this one for the meals. There we go. That does leave me like a decent amount of space left. So maybe we'll use one of these that says remember. Is that straight? It doesn't feel like it. Okay, that's probably good. And then one of these little purple guys maybe. There we go. And then I do have this little box here. Let me see how close. Okay, I think that'll work. I'm just gonna line it up here. There we go. All right, that looks pretty cute actually. For the sidebar, I didn't write March or anything up here, but I think that's gonna be fine. Moving on to the dailies, I usually use these tiny little strips for work, and that's gonna be no exception. For today's setup, I'm just going to keep using these because they work pretty functionally. I don't need that much space for marking work, but I just, you know, need to acknowledge that that's a thing. There we go. Sometimes I add an extra line, depending what else I'm doing, but that'll be fine for this. Let me see what I have in the way of like workout related icons. I have this little guy with the shoe. Do I have anything else? Maybe I'll use the Facebook one. It's not perfect, but I think it's gonna work. All right, so for that, I think my plan is to put all my activities in the top of the boxes, and then I'm gonna put like any checklists and like basically little things in the other of the boxes whenever possible. All right, so I'm gonna stick this in, and this is gonna be for curling. Wednesday, I have a haircut. There's a blow dryer. I feel like that's close enough. There, do I wanna use a similar? Sure, why not just use another label? All right, so this is gonna be for my haircut. I usually do that right after work. All right, so there's that. I think that's the first half of the week. Moving on to the second half of the week, I do wanna pull out one of these, and then there's not really like a pet icon here. Okay. So I am going to use this one. Katsu has dental surgery on this day. And so I drop him off in the morning and then I pick him up at the end of the day. But it is gonna like take up a lot of mental space. So I'm just gonna make it that big there. And then I do have work. Like that. And then I don't have as much space for curling on this one. So I'm just gonna use this size icon. I think that's like a little thing. There we go. I think that's gonna work out pretty well. This page can go to the side. I don't need it anymore. And then one more to mark work on Friday. Oh, I didn't put in my videos. Oh man, I am a mess. All right, so I'm gonna put in a little thing. And this video is going to be my February monthly. So I'm going to use a little wheel there. On the first half of the week, maybe we'll use one of these. I will put the little planner icon for my plan with me. There we go. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Friday, otherwise, I don't have anything planned. And then over the weekend, as far as I'm aware, I also don't have anything planned right now. So I think this is where we're gonna actually leave this. So here is the pre-planning. I have a ton left to use. I have boxes, icons, functional things, glittery boxes, more functional stuff here. And then I have a few pages that I'm not gonna use. The page I finished, some full boxes, and full boxes and glitter headers. Those will just be saved for future usage. But I think this is where we're gonna leave you with the pre-planning. So stick around for just a second to see the finished spread. All right, here is the finished spread. I think it turned out so cute. Unsurprisingly, I have a ton left in this deluxe kit from B&R Papercraft since it's the first time I'm using it. Icons, full boxes, functional things, glittery boxes, non-glittery boxes, more functional stuff. And then this page is done. This page is 4 more full boxes, and then I have 2 more full boxes and 1 set of glitter headers over here. So I think it was really pretty good use of the kit, but I do have a lot left that I will be able to use whenever I decide to come back to this kit. So I'm gonna throw this in my leftover stash. And then this was how the week turned out. It was super busy, definitely a ton, especially at work. I also got a haircut. I ordered new glasses. Katsu had surgery. He's doing really well. So that's also good. And then the weekend had some like yummy food and errands, things like that. So I think that's all I have for today. As always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know how your week went down below, or if you don't have anything that you want to leave me a ship emoji just to say hi. I would love to hear from you. And then follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Creative Life of Liz. You'll see in progress and finished spreads, bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.